On November 19, 2025, U.S. President Donald Trump announced a renewed American effort to resolve Sudan's devastating civil war, explicitly crediting a personal request from Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. MBS speaking at the U.S. Saudi Investment Forum in Washington, D.C., a day after hosting MBS at the White House. Trump described the conflict as the most violent place on earth and the world's largest humanitarian crisis. He committed to immediate action, stating, "We're going to start working on Sudan. I view it differently now than I did just a day ago." This announcement marks a significant escalation in U.S. involvement, signaling a new level of personal engagement from Trump. Background on the Sudan conflict. Sudan's war erupted in April 2023 as a power struggle between the Sudanese Armed Forces SAF, led by General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, and the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces RSF, commanded by General Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo Hemeti. What began as a fight over integrating their forces and transitioning to civilian rule has spiraled into widespread ethnic violence, atrocities, and foreign interference. Key facts include casualties and displacement. The conflict has killed over 150,000 people and displaced more than 12 million, creating the world's largest displacement crisis. Nearly half the population faces acute food insecurity, with famine conditions reported in cities like El Fasher and Kadugli. Foreign involvement. The war has become a regional proxy struggle. Saudi Arabia and Egypt broadly back the SAF, while the United Arab Emirates supports the RSF. Recent RSF advances, including the capture of El Fasher in North Darfur, have intensified the humanitarian catastrophe. Prior U.S. efforts. The Biden administration engaged in back-channel talks, which led to a truce proposal the RSF agreed to in early November 2025. However, progress stalled amid accusations of ceasefire violations. Trump's announcement reframes Sudan as a top-tier foreign policy priority, contrasting his past America First stance with a new willingness to lead a multilateral diplomatic effort. The MBS factor, a personal and strategic appeal. Trump recounted MBS's direct appeal during their Oval Office meeting on November 18. "Sir, you're talking about a lot of wars, but there's a place on earth called Sudan, and it's horrible what's happening." The president added that MBS called U.S. intervention the greatest thing you can do, emphasizing Sudan's cultural and strategic importance. Trump admitted the issue was not on my charts, but the Crown Prince's urgency, combined with Saudi Arabia's pledge of $600 billion in U.S. investments, prompted him to act within 30 minutes of their conversation. This exchange highlights the deepening U.S.-Saudi alliance under Trump, who has praised MBS as a very good friend and recently designated Saudi Arabia a major non-NATO ally. MBS's involvement is also strategic. The conflict in Sudan threatens the stability of the Red Sea, a vital global shipping corridor, and could impact Saudi Arabia's long-term Vision 2030 goals. Critics, however, view it as an attempt by Riyadh to leverage its economic relationship with the U.S. to counter the influence of its rival, the UAE, in Sudan. The U.S. plan and regional coordination. Trump outlined a collaborative approach to the crisis. Partners. The U.S. will work with Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Egypt, and other Middle Eastern allies to halt the tremendous atrocities and stabilize the country. Focus areas. The plan will involve diplomatic pressure for a lasting ceasefire, ensuring humanitarian access, and establishing a roadmap for a civilian-led transition. Next steps. The effort will build on the truce proposal from early November, with direct engagement from SAF and RSF delegations already in Washington. Sudan's ambassador to the U.S. has welcomed the American proposals, while SAF leader al-Burhan publicly thanked both Trump and MBS. In a follow-up Truth Social post, Trump reiterated, "Sudan has become the most violent place on earth. We will work with Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Egypt, and other Middle Eastern partners to get these atrocities to end." Reactions and implications. Sudanese response. The SAF's Transitional Sovereign Council expressed readiness for serious engagement, thanking MBS and Trump for their efforts to stop Sudanese bloodshed. The RSF has been quieter, but had previously agreed to US-led truce talks. International reaction. Secretary General Antonio Guterres welcomed the renewed focus, stating the war is spiraling out of control. Pope Leo XIV highlighted the persecution of Christians in Sudan, adding a moral dimension to the crisis. On social media, analysts like Adelan Boswell hailed the move as a huge moment, while skeptics questioned U.S. motives, given the continued flow of arms to both sides. Challenges ahead. Analysts warn of spoilers, such as Islamist elements within the SAF and the RSF's decentralized militia structure, that could derail negotiations. Success will hinge on enforcing arms embargoes, particularly on UAE-supplied weapons to the RSF. A broader risk is that failure could create an opening for increased Russian or Iranian influence in the Red Sea region. This initiative, if sustained, could represent Trump's first major foreign policy achievement of his second term, blending his signature deal-making approach with MBS's regional influence. Yet, as Trump himself noted, Sudan's situation was once crazy and out of control. Translating this pledge into a lasting peace will be a critical test of U.S. resolve. For now, it offers a glimmer of hope to millions caught in a largely forgotten crisis.